Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. All right, hey, look, my name is Jerome Davis. I'm the Executive Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer for the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority. Once again, thank you for being here today. We know that a lot of you are busy, but you had to come to a place like today, the airport, number one. Number two is because something's very special happening with the DC businesses. And what I would like to do is introduce to you the special guest who will be here, that you'll be hearing from, Christy Whitfield. Christy is the director of the DC Department of Small and Local Businesses and oversees the Made in DC program. Rahima Wright, the Chief Executive Officer of Shea Butter Body Products, and a Made in DC program participant. And of course, Warner Session, our chairman of the board for the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority, and then also Jack Potter, our president and CEO of the authority. I would also like to take a moment and recognize Marketplace Development. All the concessions that you see, that team does all the work in concert with the airport. So could you just raise your hand to be recognized, please? Thank you very much. Also, Thorne Posen, who is a member of our board of directors. Thorne, could you please? Thank you. And finally, I just want to say thanks to the airports. Paul Maladrino, where are you? Paul, thank you for all the contributions you make, okay? This afternoon, we were excited to welcome the first of its kind airport retail experience to Reagan National. The kiosk you see is unique in that it only offers products made right here in the nation's capital. It is all part of Made in DC, an innovative program led by Director Whitfield that gives creators, makers, and artisans from the District of Columbia the chance to share their talents with the traveling public. We're glad to be able to welcome them to our airport and help them grow their businesses. I would like now to introduce Christy Whitfield. She is an executive, an entrepreneur, and an urban planner with more than 20 years of service towards helping make our communities a better place. A native of Columbia, Maryland, Director Whitfield has worked diligently to ensure that local entrepreneurs have the opportunity to move up the economic ladder. A small business owner herself, you may know that she's a co-founder of the Curbside Cupcakes business. She is here to share more information about Made in DC program and what is important to the National Capital Region based on what she wants to talk about today. So please, Director Whitfield.
What time is it? Good afternoon, everyone. Well, this is an exciting day for makers in Washington, D.C. I gotta say, Chairman Sessions and I have, this has been about a year coming. About a year ago, Chairman Sessions came to talk to DSLBD, and our conversation started about CBE spend, as many conversations do with DSLBD. But it evolved quickly. As a former business owner, I said, well, Chairman, you got a lot of retail going on in this airport. Can we talk about that? You know, I know that we have some of the best makers in the world in Washington, D.C., and I know we have one of the busiest airports here, too. And I wanted to figure out if there was a way to get an access to that market. And the chairman said MY is always interested in helping small businesses grow. And what you see here is a result of that initial conversation. But that first conversation is easy. The work happened many, many, many more conversations later. And so through, I don't know how many more conversations, Chairman, after that. But what we really wanted to do was give people an opportunity to see what we can do in Washington, D.C. and share in our local pride. If you look at these makers, and I think some of them, raise your hand if you've got a product in the kiosk. You know, I feel like the job of DSLBD, and my pride and privilege as the director of DSLBD, is to amplify and shine a light on the great work of the brands of our wonderful city. And then to let our makers do what they do best, shine and be awesome. And I think that this kiosk does just that. You know, we are excited to report that this kiosk has outpaced our sales expectations in the first month and in the second month. So give them a round of applause. You know, when I was appointed a little over a year and a half ago, this mayor said, you know, Christy, we want to make sure that businesses are growing and thriving in the area. And I said, well, let's find innovative ways to access markets. And this is a representation of that, and this is the kind of work that our team at DSLBD does. Our Made in DC program is a great example of this, and I want to acknowledge Kate Marand, who is actually the person who day to day is out here really just marching for makers. Kate and Virginia Marie and Tracy, thank you very much for all the work that you're doing to help make these a reality. You know, we have a ribbon cutting to get to, and I could talk all day long about the wonderful work that we're doing here for you, but I just want you to know, as a former business owner and as the director, that we are here to help amplify your brands. We are here to help get you access to markets. We're here to help you grow your wealth and maintain your businesses here in this city. So thank you to the makers, and this is just the beginning, we hope, of a great relationship with the airport. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Whitfield. Next up is Warner Session. Warner is currently serving as the chairman for the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority of the Board of Directors. He first joined the board in 2011. He has brought so much to our board, but the one thing that he has a passion for is small businesses within the framework of DC and how can they spread their wings throughout the DMV area. So at this time, I'd like to bring up Warner so that he can share with you, because believe me, nothing today would have happened without him. So Warner.
Good afternoon once again. I am Warner Session, Chairman of the Board of the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority. Again, on behalf of my colleague, Mr. Thorne Posen, and the other 12 directors of the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority, we welcome you here today. Let me also acknowledge a staff member from the council, Mr. Brian McClure, who's here on behalf of Council Member Kenyon McDuffie. So thank you for coming out. As Director Whitfield indicated, the Made in DC program helps foster the entrepreneurial spirit of the creators, artists, and makers who call this DC area their home. We're pleased that we've been able to partner with DSLBD on this great effort. As Director Whitfield indicated, about a year ago, we actually sat down to do some brainstorming on how could we give DC makers exposure to this incredible venue. And we initially thought what we'd do is just kind of a one-day expo. We brought in our airport manager, Mr. Maladrino. Thank you, Paul, for being a part of that initial thought process, and just showcase us for a year. But after I took the idea back to our senior management with Jerome and Jack and with our partners at Marketplace, they said, well, we can do a little bit better than that. So I also want to acknowledge the person who heads up our concession program, Mr. Devin Judd. Could you raise your hand? And also would like to recognize one of our Marketplace partners, Mrs. Kathleen Verrett, who also kind of jumped in and said, we can do better than this. So what you see today, Kathleen, raise your hand. So what you see here today is really collaboration. We started with an idea and we said we can do more than what we initially conceived of. So this kiosk, the kiosk you see here today, is really designed to expand the traveling public's view of Washington, D.C. and our area economy. For many years, people, as you know, just think of D.C. as a government town, but we're much more than that. Just drive through the District of Columbia even given day, and you'll see 60 cranes in the air, which is a testament to the economic vitality and robust activity that's happening in the district on a daily basis. Of course, those of us who live and work here understand that. Our colleagues at DSLBD know this as well, and they're aware that we need to make the makers, the people who live and work and provide their products and services, we also need to give them exposure. So we're very proud and excited today together to be cutting this ribbon. We hope that eventually this will make a big difference to the folks here who are selling their goods and products. There are over 23 million passengers that come through this airport on an annual basis. And if Jack and management has anything more to do it, we'll have even more in the next 5 years. So these are a lot of eyeballs, a lot of feet that are going to be transferring down this National Hall. And so this gives it a great opportunity for the makers to really expose to the traveling public a sense of the District of Columbia. The other thing that this, and I'll conclude with this and just simply say that this kiosk is important for a couple of reasons. Not only does it, as I indicated, allow growth and exposure of the makers' goods and services, but also gives the other vendors at an airport an opportunity to sell their products. Well, what do I mean by that? For example, we have our poster child here, our poster child for entrepreneurial success. Yes, that's you, Juanita Britton, who operates Busy Bee International. She actually operates 21 stores between National and Dulles Airport. And so one of those stores is called the Washingtonian, which is at Dulles Airport, and she actually stocks many of the products for the DC makers that you see here today. So there's a lot of cross-pollination that can go on, not only from the traveling public, but also vendors like Juanita who can sell their goods and services at her stores. So we are very proud that people can come here and get a sense of place. And I couldn't be more elated that we, through collaboration, have been able to have this and be able to launch. Hopefully, for some of you, one day you'll be a Juanita Britton. You'll operate your stores at both airports and continue to grow. So thank you for coming out today.
Hey, thank you, Warner. I'd now like to introduce Rahima Wright. She's a graduate of the Made in DC program and an entrepreneur, and the curator of the current display of products available for purchase at this shop. Rahima, as was mentioned earlier, is the founder and CEO of Shea Yeeleen, a company which produces Shea body care products. As if that's not enough to keep her busy, Rahima is also the founder of Pop-Up Collaborative, an organization that brings together women and minority-owned businesses in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. This organization offers innovators and small business owners the opportunity for inclusive business opportunities, focusing in on the Made in D.C. program. We're so glad you could join us today. Looking forward to hearing your words. Come on up.
Hi, everyone. So I've never been to a ribbon cutting, and I'm trying to play it cool, but this is fancy. This is fancy. I'm here representing the makers. Thank you so much for introducing me, Jerome. And I have Definition Studio earrings on. I have a t-shirt from Ballywick. And I also have a belt from Bicycle Trash. And I have lots and lots of shea butter from head to toe. This is a really special moment, and this moment would not have been possible if DSLBD and MWA had not partnered. So I really want to start off by just saying a huge thank you to the airport executives and management staff for giving us this opportunity, and Director Whitfield and her team for bringing two things together and giving us the ecosystem to be able to get our products out to new customers. And I also want to give a shout out to Joy from the Marketplace, who's been an awesome partner and a great person to work with. Thank you so much, Joy. So when I started my company, I run a beauty business. I had returned back from the Peace Corps. I was a Peace Corps volunteer, moved to DC, and I wanted to create a local brand that had global impact. And my company does that by giving access to living wage jobs for women in small rural villages. And over the last couple of years, I've really wanted to connect more to the maker community in DC and entrepreneurs who are like me. And honestly, it wasn't until the creation of the Made in DC program that I started getting looped in and connected to other brand makers like myself. And so the idea and concept of the pop-up collaborative is really inspired by an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so by bringing these community of entrepreneurs together, we are journeying forward, leveraging our resources and leveraging the skills that we have to get our companies to the next level. And if you ask any entrepreneur, being connected to and having a tribe of like-minded individuals to journey with and travel with is one of the best things, because we're able to, it's hard being an entrepreneur. I don't know how many of you who are out here who are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs. It's not easy, right? Come on, guys. Right? It's hard. Director Whitfield knows. And to be able to collaborate and come together and help and support each other is amazing. But there's only so much we can do when it's just a group of entrepreneurs. When we have access to government leaders and private sector leaders who say, listen, we want to open the door. We want to give access to an ecosystem and build an ecosystem that's supporting these maker communities. That's how we scale. That's how we get to sustainability. That's how we get to profitability. So we could not do this without you. And so thank you. Thank you all. And I just wanted to... So I just wanted to end really quickly. We're all here, we're at the airport, the kiosk is right over there. So what are we gonna do after this event? Exactly! Happy shopping, everyone.
Hey, thank you and congratulations once again. Okay. Hey, next I'd like to introduce to you the President and CEO of the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority, Jack Potter. Jack?
Thank you, Jerome, and welcome everyone. I want to thank Warner Session. As was said earlier, he was the one that got this kicked off. Thank to Thorne and the rest of our board for helping us. Most important, who are the folks that are selling product here? I want to thank you. I want to thank you very much for your creativity. I want to thank you for, again, stepping up, helping us take this kiosk, which, by the way, was empty, and we're going to turn this into a very productive area. This is really about us collaborating with local entrepreneurs, artisans, makers, whatever you want to call them, to learn. Because this is a stepping stone to something bigger and better for all of you. You have the opportunity to come into a very commercial area, as you know the airport is, a lot of traffic walking by you every day. Your job is to get people to stop walking by, catch their attention, and I know a lot of work has gone in. It's a collaborative effort between us and Christy and the folks in Washington to make this kiosk look great, to attract people. So again, this is a learning environment. I think most people don't know, but we're going to rotate product in and out. We're going to rotate entrepreneurs in and out. This is not a static, this is what it looks like. This is truly an opportunity for people who work with Christy, who are putting the time in, who have product, have thought it through, have figured out that they have a business plan, and we're going to give them a start by letting them come in and take advantage of this location. The success of this relies on the folks who are out there doing the sales, making, talking, collaborating with everybody. Again, we hope you learn. We hope that this is a stepping stone to something truly greater, and so we're committed to continue to work with you, to help you hone your skills. We want you to make money for us, by the way. We are taking a cut. This is not a freebie. The real world, they don't give you a store for nothing, okay? So we're going to take a little bit of a cut, but that's part of the learning process, all right? And it's going to sharpen your skills for when you negotiate later on. But again, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for stepping up and really investing in yourself. We're investing a little bit in you by giving you an opportunity. You need to spend the time. We want you to think like a business person. With Christy's group and her guidance, I think we'll help, again, set you on a path to make you successful. So congratulations, and thanks to all, because everyone who's here has made a contribution to get this off the ground. So thank you all for all that you're doing. And again, look forward to us collecting a lot of dollars, but you being very successful. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Jack. Hey, by the way, hey, congratulations once again. Thank you all for being here. We're going to move right into the ribbon cutting.
Yep.